have been so blessed to have had the privilege to work with James, through being agile, at some point during his career, which is why we had maintained a relationship right up to this point, and which is why I am so excited that James is not just an agile practitioner, he is reflecting the spirit of an agile practitioner, which is what? Having that passion to share with the community so that, or just a way of giving back so that other people can benefit from his wealth of knowledge as well. So that is the reason why James is here. Not to take anything, I didn't pay James a single dime. Let's come on here and share his experience. So without further ado, I'm going to be giving James the floor to introduce himself to us all, and we go from there. Thank you so much, James. We are very excited to have you. So please go ahead.
Hi, Coach. What I was saying earlier was you're such an inspiration. I still call you the Jesus Christ of Scrum, because you saved me. And you broke a lot of things down in a way that was so easy to understand. And thank you for the opportunity and, bringing me up here to share my experience and my journey with Agile and Scrum. I'm excited. So, as Karen mentioned, my name is James Asankomatando. I've been a Scrum Master for about 5 years now. I've been in the works for a while, and I came across Coach, and she really mentored me and guided me in the direction that nobody else could have done. Currently, I work for Deloitte as a contractor, supporting one team, and it's been a journey. In the past, I've worked for companies such as DataLink and the U.S. Air Force, and currently at Deloitte. So it's been a journey. I can say I definitely have a lot of experience to share and how I got here. So, Coach, thank you for the invitation to be here. I am honored.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And we are very excited to have you. So, the question I have for you, the next question that we have for you is, how did you first become interested in the field of Agile and Scrum? And what motivated you to pursue a career as a Scrum Master? Because being interested in it is one thing, but deciding to pursue it and make that happen is a whole other thing. So just share with us how you did that.
So earlier you were talking about how your family and your kids inspired you, motivated you to push through to actually execute and do this. For me, it was my family as well, especially my son. I was working a job that was not cutting it, and I just wanted a certain lifestyle, right? And I knew that if I kept going the way I was going, things were not going to go well for me. And I knew a friend, we're all young people trying to, find our space and, trying to succeed. And he told me, hey, he's heard about a new career path or job called Scrum Master. I was like, what is that? And he tried to convince me so much, but I was not in the right mental space to actually, go through it. I did get a certification. I was sitting on the certification. I got the PSM1. I was sitting on that for about a year, and I think God was trying to show me something like, okay, if you want to go the easy route, then you're gonna have to deal with what comes with easy route lifestyle, and life was really hard. So I was like, why am I sitting on a certification that could be, give me the lifestyle I want and also give me the flexibility to spend time with my family, especially, I work remote now. It's really nice. I don't have to wake up, dress up, put my makeup on, and drive to work. So I wanted a certain lifestyle. So I was doing my research, and one time I was on YouTube, because we all love YouTube, and I saw a beautiful lady called Karen Fomafung, and I was like, wow, this lady is different. She is really explaining things very well that nobody has ever done. So ever since I was, I never subscribed. I was kind of like, a
Yeah.
ghost listener. Every time I would just go through her stories, and she's always like, I've helped people get jobs, and she's always posting testimonials. I was like, you know what? Let me do this. So I took a big risk. I quit my, accountant. I was an accountant at that time. I quit it. I don't advise that, but for me, that worked for me because I wanted to put myself in a spot where I felt like this is my life. If I don't do it, then So I quit it, and I gave it about 2 3 months of focus. I signed up for her class. I actually didn't really have a lot of fun, so I took my mom's money that I was holding. So I was like, please, let me get this job, otherwise my mom is gonna get me. But lo and behold, I signed up, and she guided me through the process, and the teams were amazing. The collaboration that we had and everybody sharing their success stories was very inspiring. And once I became part of that community, something happened with my mind because I wanted this, So the continuous process of me coming up, showing up every once a week, and just having the conversation, it built a neural path in my brain about Scrum. So I'll be sleeping and I'll just be thinking about this thing all the time, and it just became part of me. And eventually, I landed my first job, and I was like, "Whoa! I can't believe I did it," because I never thought I could do it, and I think that was the issue. Because mentally, I did not allow myself the chance to actually believe that I could do it. Once I broke through that, now I believe I can do anything. Not that I never thought I could not do anything, but it just opened my eyes to what I could do as a person and how I could grow within a few years. So um, that's my short story. Hopefully, it was short, but I'm just excited
Beautiful.
to be here. So
Beautiful, amazing. So, for everyone watching, I would just like to add this. I don't know if for those that have had the opportunity to, mentor people or train or being a teacher, you always know when you have that student in your class that you just know that this person will be successful. How? The way I do it, like within 3 to 4 days of new person joining, I usually know if this is going to be a long ride or, oh my God, this person is going to be one of my success stories. James was one of those people. How? Because when he came right off the bat, even though he's saying he never thought he could, from day one, I knew that he will. And the only condition for him to achieve why he's here is if he is able to forget about his glory, wherever he's coming from, and just be humble. And that was exactly what James did. I didn't have to tell him that because sometimes I'll need to remind people that, okay, I know you have all this fancy background and all of that, but you're here for a reason. You just have to forget about all that, put your titles at the door and get it. I didn't have to do that with James. And I could see a person that is hungry to achieve whatever, why he was there. And he did just that within his period of being in the program. His duration didn't have to expire. He achieved his goal. And he wasn't one of those that would call me every day or text me in the middle of the night, and he didn't do any of that. So I just want to say thank you, really, because that usually means a lot to me when I see people that really understands what they are after and then they go after it without someone having to tell them or force them or do any of that. So I just wanted to add that. I really appreciate that. So our next question will be: share with us briefly or describe the organizations and teams you have worked with, highlighting any notable experiences or achievements.
okay, I will keep it short. I will since I work with Deloitte, I will mention Deloitte. So currently, I support one team at Deloitte. We're working on an app for the Air Force, which I can't really go into details, but basically that's what we're working on. Um, but in this scenario, we don't necessarily have a BA or a product owner, which is challenging. But hey, adaptability is part of Scrum. So the UI is kind of like the product owner, and we also communicate hand in hand with the client in our meetings. One of the challenges in this current team is when I joined, they didn't have any sort of metrics set up. They were just kind of doing the work, and I could tell they just didn't grasp what they were doing. They were doing it, but Scrum wise, they were just kind of doing anything. So the first thing I did was to set up the metrics so that we can observe the trends, how the performance and so on and so forth. They were very excited when that happened. They were like, "Whoa, this is cool!" We get to see velocity, capacity, all that. And they were not doing daily stand-ups every day, which was a big win for me. So about a month, 2 months in, um, you know, they were pushing back. They're like, doesn't make sense. Why do we have to meet every day to talk about, what we're doing? And the simplest way I put it is, we are a team and we're working together. What happens if we're not talking every day about a product we're working on, and all of a sudden we complete a sprint and we're
Mhm.
like, oh, we forgot this. It's important we meet every day. Some people might say, oh, it's common sense, but to them it felt like too much work. So I started like, okay, well, it's only 15 minutes. We can just meet, and just have a conversation about what we're doing. It's not a status update, and that's one thing I observed because they were kind of like, yeah, today I did this, and so it felt like a status update. So I tell them, this meeting is just for you guys to come and have the conversation. what to do. If anything has changed or we're still on course, just that. It's not a status update. Over a few sprints after they did realize that, wow, this actually makes sense, because there were a lot of loopholes and things that were communication that were lost because they were not meeting every morning to have that conversation. And sometimes developers, when they're just left to themselves, they just kind of do whatever they want to do. But that has served as a way to keep the team accountable to each other. And that was one of the challenges, and how I kind of maneuver to get daily stand up to be official. One of the things that I'm working currently on with them right now is to be able to get them to do refinements, because we don't necessarily do it. It's a collaborative thing that I do with the UI, since he represents the PO. So I've been writing user stories for the first time ever.
Oh, wow.
I'm writing acceptance criteria.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
yeah. So that was very challenging, because
Mm-hmm.
my previous organization, I had the PO, the BA, they'll put it together, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll facilitate the conversation of do follow ups, right? So this time around, I'm hands down deep into the work, technical ish, but it's been a learning curve and it's very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I am writing acceptance criteria, user stories, and helping the team achieve their goals and being a great servant leader.
Amazing. I mean, I think this just highlights the point that I earlier made when I was talking about our new book, that in the life of a Scrum Master, no two organizations does it the same. And not there is no 2 days that are ever the same. So you all just heard, because to me, writing acceptance criteria shouldn't be what a Scrum Master should be doing. But now James is doing it in his organization. And to me, I see that as a win-win, because now he knows how to write acceptance criteria, even
Yeah.
though it's not what a Scrum Master would be doing. And that knowledge will never leave him. So I was actually going to ask you about sharing with us some of one success and one challenge. I think you just highlighted that. So we'll skip that question.
Okay.
And the next question I would have for you right now is what initially, I know you gave us a broad introduction when you started. So but I need us to be specific on this. What initially sparked your interest in becoming a Scrum Master? How did it happen? Like, were you sleeping? Did you dream about it? Were you having a conversation with a friend? Did you see it online? I just need to know where it started. And then how did you navigate any doubt or insecurities about your background or skill set? And the reason why I need us to talk about this is because this is the reality of so many people. They have actually heard about the Scrum in one way or the other, but yet they cannot just move forward because they keep thinking about the insecurities. Let me just put it that way. So how are you able to go through that, and you're here today?
So for me, what really sparked my interest was my close friend that told me about Scrum actually went through with it and got the job.
Mhm.
I was like, whoa, if he can do it, then I can do it, because we had
Yeah.
no background in, Scrum, nothing. We were not IT, knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And he was living good, he was working remote, and I was still working my accounting job, just, working really hard for less. So that really challenged me. I was like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. And then when I signed up, the things that helped me navigate was, I think one thing that I learned from this course was, I'm an audio learner. I know when I stopped working the accounting job, I was just kind of driving uh, Uber, trying to make funds on the side. While I did that, I was always listening to our class sessions and people's interviews, and that really helped me grasp a lot of things, and also understand how to approach uh, answering the interview questions. So that is what inspired me and how I navigated through, you know, insecurity. For insecurities, I think you've talked about this, thinking or assuming positive intentions.
Hmm.
They were having a fight without brain. There's always this conversation. Oh, you can't do it. Oh, you can do it. So which side do you want to, pay attention to and actually focus, which is Scrum value, and actually go through with it. So for me, I think the mindset of just assuming positive intentions, because we seem to always kind of think negative a bit if we don't feel confident in an area, and working on my mental really helped too as well. So yeah, positive thinking.
Beautiful. I think just saying that, I just remembered a conversation I had yesterday with a mentee. It was my first time of meeting her actually. So this person is in Nigeria. There is some organization going on in Nigeria from the USA called Africa Agility. So I just saw this thing on LinkedIn asking for help from coaches to help coach girls in Nigeria. I decided to join yesterday. It was my first time of meeting them. So when I was paired in a room with this lady, and she was supposed to be asking me questions, and then so the first question she asked me, she said she's thinking of giving up this whole thing. She's actually learning to become a product manager, actually. So I'm like, what's going on? She's like, well, she's actually just wrapping up with the project she's working on, but she doesn't feel like it's worth it because she feels like there's no job. It's all saturated, and who would want to hire her? And she knows that there are so many skills in USA, all these countries, and she's here in Nigeria. Who wants to hire her? I'm like, okay, why do you think nobody want to hire you? She's like, well, I don't know, Sha, she's telling me the Sha stuff. I'm like, I'm like, okay, why are you worried about everyone else? Why are you not worried about you? What's your business in all the other people out there that they may be hiring except you? Why don't you focus on you? You have no business with all these people. They don't even know you, really. So I told her, if I were you, I would focus on my only business would be building myself.
Right.
That would be my only business. Building myself. My only worry would be I would channel all of that energy and put it towards how do I continuously sharpen myself. So when that opportunity presents itself, I am grabbing it. The only time I'll have a problem is when that opportunity presents itself and I'm not able to grab it because I wasn't prepared. That's the only time I will be so frustrated. For now, please, I see you have a lot of energy, which is amazing, but just that you're using it for the wrong reason. Channel all of that energy into you. And tell tomorrow, I mean, I give you 1 year. If you follow this guidance I've given you, you will find me. It's my first time of meeting you, but I'm sure you will be texting me to tell me good news. Really, because I've helped so many people in Nigeria from Nigeria. Meanwhile, I'm here. So you shouldn't be different. And she was really smart. So I just wanted to add that. And it takes us now to the next question. How did you, I know you've shared some pieces here and there on some of the learnings you did, but I just want us to get full context on how did you approach acquiring the necessary knowledge and skills to excel in the role? Were there any resources or learning strategies that were particularly helpful?
Thank you very much, Coach, for that question. So I started with scrum.org. Um, First of all, I downloaded the Scrum Guide and I read it over and over and over. I listened to audio tapes to grasp the basic concept of it.
Mhm.
And then from there, I took the exams, got the certification, which I was sitting on for about a year or so. But the necessary knowledge was just YouTube, your products on YouTube, your videos. I kept listening over and over. I could hear it just echo in my ears, even if I'm not listening. And for me, just the Scrum Guide, studying that, and just listening to podcasts on your videos and different avenues really helped me. I'm not much of a head down in the book person, but if I hear, I can understand and just push forward. So I think your videos were the best of all of them. I saw a few online, but it just didn't do it for me like yours did. So when we
Awesome.
talk about resources that help me excel, your platform did it for me.
Thank you. Good to know.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So aside from that and the resources, was there anything else at all? And how have you kept the learning alive? I think that's what we're looking to know.
So on how have I kept the learning alive? I try to on a daily basis listen to anything related to agility or Scrum, and also things with mindset. Because this Scrum space is a lot of mental gymnastics, and you need
Yeah.
to study,
Hmm.
keep improving, and learn about things. These people will challenge you. But you have to have a strong mindset to be able to push through. Even sometimes when things don't go wrong, it's okay. You learn from it and know not to do that again. So those are some of the things that I do on a daily basis to try to get me in the right mindset and also know that I'm continuously improving in my area of expertise.
Beautiful. So I mean, I think you're just speaking to one of the five Scrum values, which is courage. Be courageous enough to challenge yourself, challenge the status quo. In real life, trust me, it's not easy because you would see someone whose paycheck is like six times yours is talking, and you clearly know what this person is saying doesn't align. And then you're thinking, okay, this person should be the one paying me. How do I talk to this person? Like, that's not how it's done, all of that.
And
So it takes courage to do
yeah,
that.
add on to that, it's important you do. You know, nobody's gonna talk down on you just because you expressed your opinion. It's okay
Yeah.
to. If you
Hmm.
don't, then you're actually setting the wrong example. You're supposed to be, encouraging your team members to open up and talk, even if it doesn't make sense. It's okay
Yes.
to do
Yes.
that. That's safety in the work environment. So yeah,
Yes, totally agree. So to that point, what really matters is your manner of approach. Really, if anytime, if I say, I speak to five people and four of them are mad at me, then I should be asking myself, how am I talking to these people? The how is really, really important. Yeah. So well, again, for those that are watching, please, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section. We will spend the remaining 10 minutes to address your questions. And this brings us to the next question. What advice would you give to individuals who are considering a career as a Scrum Master, but may feel hesitant due to their background or lack of experience in Agile? But before you answer this question, I heard you say you are not a heads down in the book person. James, buy my book. Don't do that.
so I was gonna say your book is gonna be the very first well, not the very first, but your book definitely I'm gonna buy because
Okay, you better be getting my book.
Agile and Karen is golden. So
Okay.
buy the book
All
first.
right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I put that out there before I forget.
Yes, I got you. I got you.
All right, awesome. All right, so would you want to please answer this question for us?
What advice would you give to individuals who are considering? I'll say most importantly, work on your mindset. Um,
Okay.
Nothing that when you set your mind to, you cannot do. This whole thing felt like an impossible thing for me to do. But once it came into fruition, I was like, wait, wow. So what was it that I was so afraid of? We create all these images in our head about ourselves, which are most of the time, sometimes not even true. So if you're considering this path, change your mindset, think positive, and know that it's possible. Just take it one day at a time. Learn a page a day if that works for you. Listen to something agile, and over time, it just becomes part of you, and you feel, very confident to talk about it. I still remember when I was doing my first interview, I was so nervous. It's not because I was nervous of the person. Is just because deep down I felt like I didn't know much about, or maybe I was not as knowledgeable as whoever was interviewing me. Once I did the first time and I realized this is not even that bad. It's just a conversation.
Mhm.
So, regardless of color, race, we're all people. We all have our insecurities. But when you get to the interview and you're trying to get this thing, just have that conversation and be yourself.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you. I think you already touched on the next question I was supposed to ask you
Be brave.
about how important it is to have the mindset you're talking about. So we'll skip that one. And I would like you to just talk to the viewers on how important it is to have that mindset of continuous learning. You already touched on the most important aspect of the mindset, but when it comes to the learning, just touch on that.
So agility, Scrum, our world is changing, right? Now we have AIs, which some people are afraid it might take our jobs. Just imagine if you, as a person, never changed 10 years ago and you still acted as I don't know, however, how old anybody is, but if you still acted the same as you're a teenager right now, what would your life be like, right? Probably not fun because you haven't changed and times have changed. So you need to catch up. I think it's important, continuous improvement, for you to stay on top of your game and stay relevant. You know, this career field is very rewarding. Would you not like continuously improve yourself to lose it, or you would continuously improve that? At least for me, my motivation is, hey, I need to keep this thing going, so I'm gonna continuously learn so that I can also support my team and
Mhm.
bring value to organizations when I join. Not just sit in meetings and listen. So it's important you do, because if you don't, you realize that a lot of things, even the Scrum guide, is constantly changing every
Mhm.
year or two. I'm not sure with the cadence, but it's important you know what's current in the career space you work.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So I know that you already mentioned that some of the mentors that really inspired your journey and helped you through. I know you mentioned me, which I'm very grateful. So aside from Karen as an individual and the resources that you've already mentioned, were there any other specific platforms that really helped your learning? Well,
Um,
to me, I can reference my internal Being Agile community because that is also a force to reckon with.
mhm.
So I just want to know if there is anything else you have to add on that.
That would be my best friend who was already in the field. You know,
Hmm.
I would constantly buzz him, ask questions about things, and we'll have these conversations because he was already doing
Beautiful.
it for about a year. So
Hmm.
I'll, just stay in touch with him. If I go in this Scrum meeting and things don't go well, I bring it up to him and have those conversations, and so on and so forth.
Nice. See what you just said. The last live show we did, I actually touched on this. I said every Scrum Master should have a friend, a best friend. When it comes to Agile, you need that best friend. It's not about you going to ask questions all the time. Sometimes you just need to rant. Really. Sometimes you just need to take out that bad energy, and that person should be the one you're calling. That can you imagine what happened today?
Right? Like, it's okay, this is what it's all about. You need that constant,
Yeah.
movement that you talked about. But yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. So let's touch on this. We have 3 more minutes to go through the remaining questions. Let's see what we can do here. In your experience, what are some key qualities or skills that aspiring Scrum Masters should cultivate to succeed in the role? How can individuals leverage their unique background and perspective to bring value to agile teams?
I'll make it short. I'm thinking of two words: um, open-mindedness and working on how you communicate. Because
That's
oftentimes,
powerful. That's powerful.
yeah, oftentimes in meetings, it's just the way people say things. You know, but if you learn how to be open-minded, yes, Scrum says this, but just be open-minded to different ideas and allow experimentation and know how to communicate effectively. You'll be unstoppable. At least in my experience.
Wow. That is there's nothing I could add to that. That is you just wrapped up everything.
Thank you.
That's amazing because sometimes I tell even my mentees and my students that paying your fees is one thing, but being open to learning is another thing. I cannot make it happen for you. I can only support what you already looking to make happen. Really.
Yeah,
So for that to happen, you have to be coachable regardless of your background, regardless of your status, whether you are a chief from where you're coming from, all of that, please. If you want to achieve your goal, even as a scrum master, as an agile practitioner, for you to be successful, you need to have an open mind to continuous learning, be coachable, have that mindset of, okay, you may not always be right. So there may be other things out there. Try to see things from other people's perspective and analyze and then go from there.
yeah. Get rid of the ego. That's just
Yeah.
like when I started working for this organization, the whole thing. Oh, we want you to write user stories and acceptance criteria. I know that part of my mind was like, whoa, but I was like,
That's
no,
not my job.
this is an opportunity for me to learn.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, let's think right.
beautiful. Yeah, I usually tell people that okay, arrogance and agile has nothing in common, no relationship. So yeah, okay. So let's take on the last but one question. What is the most rewarding aspect of being a Scrum Master for you personally? For me, it's just about what we are doing right now, being able to impact people, being able to change the lives of people through helping them see other possibilities in a very impossible mind of the years, and helping not only showing them that this is possible, but helping them navigating through this path and really see that they have made it possible. That satisfaction they get, that life-changing experience, changing their families through their new lifestyle, is everything to me. So I'm just curious to know what this is to you.
That's a very solid, good question. There's so many. Obviously, there's so many rewards that come with being a Scrum Master. For me, it was being able to show my friends and family. that you as a person, wherever you are right now, you could change your life if you decide you want to change your life. And also, right now, not to boast or anything, I stand out in my family and in my friends. They've seen how I went from, 0 to 100 within a short period of time just because I changed my mindset and was
Beautiful.
hungry for what I want. So for me, just setting an example for my family that, hey, it is doable and I'm able to help them in times of need because this
Oh,
very rewarding. Plus, I get to spend time with my family. I don't have to worry about leaving my house. I'm working and multitasking at the same time, hanging out with my family. It's a beautiful thing, and I could have never asked for anything better than this career path.
oh, this is the part where I say, oh. That's amazing. Thank you so much. So I don't want to miss this opportunity to get your contact before we touch on questions. So if people want to contact you or get in contact with you, how can they do that? I know that James also has a YouTube channel. So maybe you want to touch on that and then I mean if you're interested and share more on
Yeah,
how they can get in contact with
yeah.
you.
If they're interested in that part, I can always provide that information in LinkedIn or through my email. But for contacts, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm like the only James Asankumatando. Being the Scrum Master, you see the space on there. Email wise, you can email me at jtando, so JTAN as in nation, D as in dog, O as in opera, H as in house, 92 at gmail.com. Feel free to send me an email. If you have any questions, I'm down to hop on the phone. I'm a very open person. I like to talk to people, so please feel free to reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you very much, James. All right. So, team, we finally came to the end. Well, almost the end. We would want to run through if there are any questions here we'll be addressing. But before we touch on the questions, I just want to remind everybody you all know being agile offers fantastic training, mentoring. We've been talking about it here, coaching for Scrum Masters. So, if you're looking to become a James Tando, please reach out to us. Reach out to us. We will be thrilled to walk with you through this journey. If you are already in it and you're stuck and you're thinking it's not possible, we can help you unlock whatever is in your head, okay, and guide you towards success. If you are a Scrum Master already or an Agile practitioner, you want to become an Agile coach. That is one of the recent programs we just launched, actually. Please reach out to us. We have an upcoming cohort starting on Monday for coaching aspiring and practicing agile coaches. I don't want us to remain in one place. We have to grow. We have to grow. So reach out to us and our other cohort is going to be wrapping up soon, but a new cohort is starting on Monday for agile coaches. We will be happy to help you. Go through the website beingagileconsulting.com, see the programs we offer, go through the Agile Coaches curriculum, and if it aligns with your growth goals, we will be happy to have more conversations. So that is it. And if you want a resume, LinkedIn, all of that, we do. Visit beingagileconsulting.com and learn more about our services. So let's take on these questions. I see a question here. Do you learn any particular did you learn any particular programs before you got a job, like Jira, for example?
Yes, I did. I know when I was in a course, we had groups and we would experiment with the Jira and the Scrum board, and yeah, so Jira was one, and at one point we used I think Mural. It's been a while, but yeah, Jira.
Mural. I think you're talking about Mural.
Yeah, yeah, but Jira was the very first. Right now in my organization, we use Azure DevOps. I'm very well versed in that now, so that's exciting.
Awesome. Great. Well, I think that's really the only question. Again, right after this video, if you still have questions, you know the video will be live on this channel here. Go ahead and still post your questions, and I'm going to find James to come answer your questions for you. Well, so this brings us to the end of our show. Again, for those who joined late, we covered two things today. We launched my first ever book, from day one to success, a step-by-step guide for Scrum Masters joining a new organization or a new team or a new project. The book is live on Amazon. So if you type Karen Fomafung, if my name is too complex for you to type, just type the title of the book. I'm sure it will pop up for you. If you're not sure, send an email and ask. We will guide you. Get your copy. If you read your copy, please, please, please write us a review. Okay. If you have more things to say than the review can carry, send us an email and let us really know what you think about the book. And we also shared Jay's success story as a senior Scrum Master, his entire journey until now as a senior Scrum Master. So please, you can always go back to the replay and catch up. And if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. And most importantly, we share our programs that we are offering, trainings, mentoring, coaching, resume, LinkedIn, all of that we do. So visit our website, beingagileconsulting.com, and please make sure that you're reaching out if you have questions. We also have a backup YouTube channel, which I don't know why I don't talk about that so much. We are almost getting to 1,000 subscribers. So if there is still anyone that has not subscribed to our Being Agile Consulting Remix backup channel, please make sure you go subscribe so that we are building it. This one almost got hacked. We don't want to be left hanging. Okay. So please make sure that you are helping us build that channel so that we can stay here and continue to bring the goodies to you. Thank you so very much. And James, I really appreciate you. What cannot even express how much I appreciate you for being here today. And have an amazing rest of your Sunday.
Will do, and thank you, and I really appreciate this. This is an honor for sure to come and share with the team. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.